Hey, welcome to this new Triggre Weekend Masterclass episode. And today we are going to extend our application with an ordering system. Like I said in the previous episode, we have several videos that we create based on one single template. And in the previous one, we extended this template with maintenance, registering maintenance. And in this episode, we are going to add an ordering functionality to it as well. Regarding this template, it's a production assembly template. So we, in this case, create electrical bikes. And these electrical bikes use parts. And at a certain point, you would like to order these parts. And currently we do already keep track of the inventory, but we're also going to create functionality that when you would like to order an part, you can easily do that. So first I'm going to show you how that works in the application itself, and then I'm going to show you what I've created in the designer to make it all work. What we have here in this template is we have several sections. One of them is inventory, and what we have there is we have the parts assembled, but in this case our interest goes to the inventory control. Because what we would like to do is we have an inventory, which you can see here, and we have a minimum stock, which we see over here. When we go below minimum stock, for instance, we would like to add an order to, add more inventory to our business. And this inventory also has a minimum order number, which we need to take into account. To do so, we of course need to be able to define the supplier of a part. Well, the interesting part of this template is that we have some additional pages which we didn't make available initially in this application, but you can find them nevertheless. Because we've got all organizations, so we can add organizations to the application, including their contact person, the person you would like to contact in case you would like to order something. And we have all parts. At all parts, we can define the supplier or the organization which is linked to that part. So for instance, in this case, the Triggre supplier. So in case we would like to order a part, we go to inventory. After that, we go to inventory control, where all the parts are listed, and we would like to say order this part. Then we automatically fill out the quantity, the minimum order quantity that we would like to order. And we can change that if we would like to, for instance, to 12. But in this case, if I would add 3, it would make sense to add like a validation rule that that's not possible. But in this case, we'll add 12. We're going to order this part. And what happens then is that we automatically send an email to the supplier where we state, hey, we would like to order this part in this quantity. Besides that, we also created a page with all orders, which shows all the orders that we have sent. And you can see here that it was sent to Triggre Supplier, quantity of 12, and we also created a PDF for that. And if we would open that PDF, as you can see, it's automatically sent to the right company. What do we do in the designer to make this all happen? Of course, we need to create a data item with, we already have the parts, but we need to be able to define orders as well. So we need to create a data item for that, which is linked to a supplier and which is linked to a part. And personally, I always like to track who ordered what, so I also linked it to a user so that we can keep track who ordered it. Furthermore, we have an order date and, of course, the document. What else did we do? Well, if we would go to the user flow first, like I said, we have the inventory control. Well, I created a page which we saw with the new parts that we wanted to order and that we can define how many of them. And what we do is we create the order, in the data item that I just explained, but we also need to add an additional flow part to create the PDF that is necessary. I've added that one here. And let me show you what's inside of that one. So let's go to the PDF part in flow parts. The input is the order, and as you can see here, I created a calculation for the subject and the order date. And that is because typically when you search in your email, you search for the subject. So if you would just send out an email with just like an order for, well, in this case, Triggre, well, for your supplier, that could be quite annoying because it doesn't, show him what you, well, how they can create like a unique order. So in this case, I do mention the order of a part, but I also add the part description to the subject. Obviously, you could also add a reference number or a date time or whatever you please, but in this case, I kept it, well, like this. But it is something that I would like to advise. The same goes for the PDF that will have a file name. And in the file name, I would like to post the date of the order as well, because, well, then it's easier to find the appropriate PDF. And in the PDF itself, at the top, what you fill out here will become the file name, so order part with a description on the order date. And then, of course, we add all the necessary items that we need in the PDF. So the description, the article number, and the quantity. We save that at the order, and then we send out an email with both an introductional text, and as you know maybe already, you can also add that PDF that we just created to this email, so that the recipient will receive that email as well, or that PDF as well. And then we have a functionality that we can use to order new parts for your inventory. Do you think this video was helpful for you? Please like it and then subscribe to our channel for upcoming videos.